On today's episode of Identity, inspirational soccer star Moeneeb Josephs pops in for a cup of coffee, and we get to know him a little better. Thabang Mokoena shows us how we can make a difference with the youth through arts and culture. What's APPenning features an app called The Confident Baker magazine and a movie called Dial a Prayer. And we play out with Oliver Mtukudzi and Shabalala Rhythms with Siyana Naye.
I am an individual with an imagination. My inner faith illuminates innovations. In a space with infinite inspiration, I was born free from all incarceration. Incredible, living infallibly, intelligent, outshine with my inner being. This is me, impeccable as ever been. I am you, you are me. This is my identity.
Good morning and welcome to Identity right here on your favorite channel SABC 1 Mzansians show with me, your host Viwekwala. We promise to bring you the best in inspiration and entertainment for the week ahead. NgoLwesibini kuzaba lilanga lolutsha apho khona eMzantsi Afrika kukhunjulwa izidubedube zaseSoweto. Eli langa libhiyozelwa ngomhla we-16 kwinyanga yeSilimela ukuze sikwazi ukuba yindima yolutsha ekukhululweni kuMzantsi Afrika ngexesha lengcindezelo. Njengolutsha le-2015, singafunda lukhulu kulutsha luka-1976 ukuthi sizimele nokwenza umahluko. Nicinga ntoni nina ngolutsha namhlanje? Are we as resilient and responsible for our future as the youth of 1976? Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and email. We want to know what you think. Moving along swiftly with today's episode, I hope you have your hot cup of coffee and you are comfortable because you are going to love our guest today. If you're wondering who it is, let me give you a clue. He was an Orlando Pirates and Bafana Bafana goalkeeper, and he's currently playing for Bidvest Wits. Still not sure whom I'm talking about? Well, I won't keep you guessing anymore. Let's get scoring with him now. Undwendwe lwethu lwanamhlanje nguMoeneeb Josephs okhulele kwindawo yophumasilwe yase-Cape Flats. uMoeneeb wenza owona mahluko ngokuthi asebenze nzima ukuba ngoyena nozinti ophumelelayo emagqabini. Now, if that's not inspirational, I don't know what is. Moeneeb, welcome to Identity.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Moeneeb, for starters, what was your childhood like in Cape Town?
Childhood for me was unbelievable, because coming from the Cape Flats, you know that it's been hectic on the one side, but it also sculpts you to be the person that I am today. Growing up with only a mother was a bit hard, especially being a young boy, needing his father in his life. But fortunately for me, I had a mother and a grandmother that had the strong characteristics that know the will to survive, and that's where I got most of my characteristics from. That's from my mother that had the character of never give up, So I'll say it's been a blessing for me growing up, the situation that I have grown up in.
Wow, so how did your soccer career start? I mean, was that what motivated you? Did your environment motivate you? Because most young people would think that because I grew up in difficult circumstances with a single mother that I'm a failure in life. So how did your soccer career start?
No, not at all. It started in the streets of Cape Town, As a young boy, you're playing in the streets, that's all you do all day. Once you get from school, you play in the streets, and at 5 o'clock your mom calls you in to go and wash, So there's always been a little bit of discipline as well. Yeah. But that has shaped me to be the person that I am, because playing in the streets, you always dream about playing in big competitions, going and watching TV, and then thinking to yourself, this is something that I want to be a part of, and then going out onto the field and imitating those players in the streets, until your mother gives you the sign to say, Moeneeb, that's it, time to wash. Then that dream just fades away, because then they got you in the bath and they wash you from there onwards, But my mother has been a key role for me in my career from childhood all the way through, and even up till today, she plays a massive role in my life.
You speak so fondly of your mother and grandmother. Are they the people that instilled the values in you that you attribute to your success today?
Definitely. They've always been instrumental in my career, in my life. The mothers are always, they have that extra touch and that love for you when things are not going well. And there's a lot of times in my life when things weren't going well for me, and I could turn back to them and they were there for me, But unfortunately for them, being a teenage boy, it was a bit difficult because they never understood what I was going through. They were women in that sense, And that's when I turned to friends and the wrong characters on the street, which I listened to advice from, and that I think in that part of my life, I think I disappointed them a bit. But I hope and pray that today that the position that I am now and that what I've achieved in my career has and they accept my apology for, that has been my apology to them, just to show them that I've been through all that, I've strived through all that, but they've been there for me, and this is me thanking them at the end of everything. It's
interesting that you speak about, you know, hanging out with the wrong crowd and disappointing your family, because we know that soccer players have an infamous wild streak about them, but you've managed to stay so grounded. How do you do that?
You know, the first thing that a Muslim mother instills in you is that you have to know that there's Allah, there's a God, you know. And at being a young teenager, it's hard for you to understand that. It's hard for you to understand it because you're still finding your way through the world, but they kept implementing that, and imprinting it in your brain that you have to remember there's a God and everything comes from that God. There hasn't been anything else that kept me grounded but my faith and what my mother and my grandmother has imprinted in my life.
So you're practicing Muslim, and speaking about faith, I mean, we're celebrating Youth Month, and we know that with the youth, I mean, a lot of people think that we as young people have lost faith. Is there still a role for faith in young people in today's age?
Definitely, definitely. Like I said, everything comes from God. We have to realize that everything comes from God. We are here because of God. And without God, we are nothing. Look at most of us look at most of the youth there's so much happening. There's drugs, there's everything. It's because we stray away from religion, we stray away from God. There's so much teaching that if you believe like me, I do 5 prayers a day. That keeps me on a straight path all the time, and that's just a basic need that us humans have, is to stay have that connection with God.
And speaking about young people, I mean, you mentioned actually something that I wanted to touch up on. You know, the environment, a lot of young people would say, I'm struggling with drug abuse or substance abuse because of where I come from, and that's my person, that's my identity. What would you say to a young person thinking that they are their bad environment? Because you came out from a challenging time in your life, and you are such a successful person.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Not exactly. Let me say thank you. You see, what the key was for me is we do grow up in that environment, but for me, going to training sessions, going to play with my team, it was that breakaway from that environment. It was that escape from reality, you know, knowing that what happens in our communities is we are stuck in this box. So we think this is all that exists for us. But for me, going into the professional game, I started seeing things. I started realizing, you know what, there's something out there that is different from my situation, my environment. So I can make that difference to change my situation. And our youth of today must know that there's always an opportunity to change that environment that they are in, you know. But the only thing for them to do is, the key for me was to go and make that happen. Things are not going to happen for us today. We need to go and make that happen, and that is the step we need to take as youth. We need to go and make things happen.
We have a quick word game. You please answer as quickly as possible.
I told you about thinking.
It's nothing to think about.
Okay.
It's just something that you should know.
No problem.
But it's fine.
No problem.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So your first question is, what is on your bucket list?
To go to
just
Mecca.
One thing.
Yeah. To go to Mecca.
Okay. And what is your favorite spot in your house?
The lounge.
The man cave.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Both. I have to say both are each different qualities that I like.
Okay. And if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
With my mom.
What's the funniest pickup line you've ever used?
Babe, should I make you coffee?
Is that a pickup line?
To my wife.
And the last question, what's your motto in life?
Go and make things happen.
I love that. Thank you so much, Moeneeb, for joining us on i-Dentity.
Thank you so much for
having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Moeneeb Josephs is certainly an inspiration to all, and we wish him the best of luck. Remember to hit us up on all our social media portals. We are i-Dentity TV Show. Alternatively, drop us an email at identitytvshow@gmail.com and tell us what you think of the show. What would you like to see? Or if you have a cool event, we might just drop by. Join me after the break, because when we return, we hit the road to Rathanda in Heidelberg, where we went to see Thabang Mokoena and the Choir, where music and traditional dancing is not just singing and dancing, but a way of life. See you in a bit.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back to your favorite multi-faith youth show. If you've just tuned in, you've missed out on my chat with SA goalie Moeneeb Josephs, but fear not, we still have a lot of awesomeness coming your way. Remember guys, we want to know what you guys think of the youth today. Are we as resilient and responsible for our future as the 1976 youth? Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter and email. We want to know what you guys think. In the spirit of Youth Month, our next insert is a representation of how communities can shape and change the youth, keep them away from the streets, and ensure discipline with something that will bring joy. Thabang Mokoena has taken his time and talent and shared it with the youth of Rathanda. He is more than just a choir master to them. He's a father figure and a symbol of hope that you can be anything you want to be and better. Let's meet him.
This is my identity.
Music ngadiscover ngisesemncane kakhulu. I remember ngise-Sunday school. That's when cause yonke into siqala esontweni thina abantu abamnyama. So ngayiqala e-Sunday school ukudiscover ukuthi no ngine-passion, ngine-talent lo music. And then ngakhula ke ngaya primary level. That's when ke ngiqala ke manje ngiba more to ama-traditional things, traditional songs into ezinjalo. And then when time goes by saqala ke sayenza ama-community choirs eRathanda. And then until ngizofoma i-religio-spiritual choir, and then that's where yonke into iqala ke. That's where yonke into blow.
Thabang is like a brother to me, because I spend isikhathi esiningi naye mangekho endlini obvious bayazi ukuthi nguThabang. And yena umuntu open kakhulu. Maka ufuna ukuthi unesikhathi sokudlala. Maka makafika emsebenzini ekhwayeni uba straight too much. Because ufuna ukuthi masenza into straight.
Thabang umuntu onjengobaba lakithi ufundisa ukucula nokugida nazo zonke izinto esifuna ukuzifunda.
First thing bakhuthaza ngokuba self-discipline, understand? Because mina I'm proud ukuthi ngisho lento ukuthi ngi-role model abantwana abaningi elokishini. Reason being because of make sure ukuthi all the time angizovela kubo ngihlala ngi-discipline, ngihlala ngenza izinto ezi-positive. So I'm trying ukubabonisa ukuthi no yazi empilweni kunezinto eziningi ezenzakalayo manje. But as ama youngsters waselokishini, we need ukuthi siba-inspire labantwana abancane nokubahlanganisa ngihlangane nabo noma even after school siyahlala nje sikhulume nabo kube nje si-socialize nabo because they need that, they need abantu ebaba-inspire. There was a choir, it was called Good Happiness, which was the first choir la eRathanda la hlala khona, but we male choir. And then it happened with the choir when time goes by, abantu bahambe bosebenza. So that's when sister established the religio-spiritual choir. The religio-spiritual choir was established in 2006. Sihlanganise ama-blacks and white yonke into because the main aim was ukuhlanganisa wonke umuntu. But unfortunately, isikhathi asilokhu azange sakhona ukuqhubeka because of abelungu basitsho ukuthi kude ukuza elokishini. Nathi we were not behluleka ukugibela itaxi ukuya financial problems. I-religio-spiritual choir linama-member 35, which is a mixed choir, male and females. Kakhulu sibheke kakhulu kuma-traditional songs. In a formal time we used to focus on gospel songs since it's South Africa. But since siqalile sithora around the world, and then that's when we said to ourselves, no, let us also be proud ngesintu sethu. Let us also try ukuthi siqule nama-cultural things. So kakhulu i-religio-spiritual choir manje is-based kakhulu kuma-cultural songs.
Nginomntwana womfana wayeku-male voice, wahamba wayeka endleleni. By then ube noThabang ku-male voice. So owentombazane, she's more with music than everything. So I decided ukuthi akazojoina i-LCD. Ngamvumela. Kodwa ukuthi kune group enye yayimfuna ngala kulo group. Ngibona la kuThabang the way kune discipline ngakhona. uThabang is one person okhona ukucontrol abantwana ababuthezelele endaweni eyi-1.
The one thing that made iLesedi to be popular, one was the type of music we do. And the fact that we are willing to grow every now and then. We would always invite people to come through to our sisters, being it Clap and Tap, being it Umculo Kamaskandi, being it Ugida, you know. So we bring in abantu abasha baselokishini lethu that have already gone out to find more information about certain things, and then they come back to us and then bayasifundisa.
I think this is a very good point because i-religio-spiritual choir as angitshelile ukuthi lenza into eziningi ne. Mina ngakhula ngingazi bengazi ukuthi ngumSuthu but bengazi uma ngisuthu. But since sizenza lezi zinto ulisedi, that's when discover into eziningi ukuthi okay basuthu ke but basuthu ke tribe so ba apara into so and why ba apara into so. So le logo, to be honest, ngifunde kubulisedi because it's not run ama workshops about those things, ama cultural things. So it plays a very important role in ukuthi ngazi ke tsebeka setso saka.
Ushintsho olulethwa ilisedi eRathanda. One is keeping the small kids away from the street. We're making sure we have projects that run normally during school holidays, just to make sure we keep them busy, and we make sure while we are busy with them, they learn as well.
To be honest, young kuchazi kwaya kakhulu. Let me say bangihila mina emoyeni, especially ngisebenza nabo because ngisebenza nabantu abancane nabantu talented, understand? Abantu they are willing to learn, abantu ebafuna ukuletha change in our community. So bangikhuthaza kakhulu bayangilungisa nje emoyeni wami, bayangilungisa. Noma bangathi ngidisturbed kanjani emotionally, but once ngeza nje ngame in front of ikwaya ngiphuma ngihealed emoyeni wami. Ama future plans wami angifuna ukubona ilisedi li travel umhlaba. Sesiqalile so travel umhlaba, but I wish in the next coming 10 years we travel wonke umhlaba. Si spreadile ama African things all over the world. Bazi ukuthi yazi in South Africa kunama culture sanje bangelisedi show choir. So you wish am nje ngifuna babona ba travel labantwana labo, because the more you travel the more you become open minded, talking from experience, because the more nami travel because I've been to different countries. Le nto ngisifundele angibuya nazo ngibuya ngizapply la ekhaya.
This is my identity.
We certainly hope Thabang's story has inspired you to go out there and get involved with the community and make a difference. It always doesn't require money, just your time and talent will do. It's time for another short break. When we come back, we check out a delicious and informative baking app on what's happening. And we also review an inspirational movie called Dial a Prayer. Don't go anywhere because we will be back soon.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us right here on Identity. If you've just joined us, you missed out on an inspiring conversation with a devoted, hardworking Moeneeb Josephs. Then we took a short lift to Rathanda and saw how Thabang Mokoena keeps the youth from the streets and instills great values and morals. Now it's time for our media reviews, so get your gadgets out and check out what's happening. Umboniso wethu wokuqala yi-app yokubhaka. Andazi ke kuwe ngoba mina ndiyazi ebusika ndithanda ukutya okumandi njengecake, ama-scones, ama-muffins noba yintoni ke wethu. Le app idalelwe wena. The Confident Baker magazine features simple dessert recipes. Each recipe has gorgeous photos because you eat with your eyes first. You want to know what it will look like. You'll also find some technique shots and shortcuts to help build your confidence. There is no reason you have to keep relying on boring old dishes when it comes to breakfast, bread, and desserts. The Confident Baker magazine can be used on your iPod Touch, iPad, and iPhone as a guide to make all the most delicious and visually appealing breakfasts, breads, and desserts. All of the recipes feature easy-to-follow instructions and a beautiful photo so you know just how gorgeous your dish will look. If you're ready to take on some new recipes and wow not just yourself, but your family and friends, then the Confident Baker magazine can help you accomplish just that. Find plenty of recipes that are ideal for beginners and experts when it comes to baking. In no time at all, you'll be able to create mouth-watering desserts, breads, and breakfast dishes. To make the process even smoother, some of the recipes offers shortcuts and technique photos. All of this information can help you build your skills and confidence in the kitchen. Not to worry what kind of measurements you feel comfortable with, as you'll find each recipe shows gram and cup measurements. Issues feature recipes for cakes and cupcakes, pies, tarts and cobblers, cookies and bars, cheesecake, muffins and quick bread, and even some no-bake cookies and cheesecake, how to bake tips and videos. Get this app today. Be sure to try this app out and take pictures of what you baked and send it to us to check out. Our next review is an inspirational, life-changing movie, Dial a Prayer. This is a movie about faith, forgiveness, and reconciling with one's troubled past. Let's check it out.
Oh, morning, Bill. Beautiful day. Oh, look, our new recruit. Welcome.
Dial a Prayer is a movie about faith, forgiveness, and reconciling with one's troubled past. Cora is nabbed on certain charges for which she may be sent to prison, but jury decides to send her for community service. As part of the sentence, she has to attend phone calls at a prayer call center, where the faithful ask her to pray for them. Initially, it proves boring stuff, as she doesn't believe in prayers. She even fails every effort to handle the distressed people on the phone line. Bill, her strict boss, keeps showing patience, and her colleagues try to encourage her, which still doesn't work. However, things start to change when she meets a young man who is convinced that her prayers worked for him.
You saved me.
No, this isn't happening.
Hallelujah. You gonna find those keys, girl? Praise God.
It urges her to regain the lost faith, but at the same time, her troubled past keeps coming in the way towards her change. This movie is all about the conflict between these two opposing forces that may be defined as faith and doubts. Check out your local movie circuit today.
That I could help make something happen.
You have, Cora. You know that.
That brings us to the end of today's episode of Identity. Keep telling us what you guys think of the youth today. Are we as resilient and responsible for our future as the 1976 youth? Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and email. Also get in touch with us by sending an email to identitytvshow@gmail.com. We're also active on the social networking scene. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, search for Identity TV Show and connect with us. Before we say goodbye, we'd like to wish the Muslim community peace and blessings for the month-long fast of Ramadan, which starts this Thursday, depending on the sighting of the new moon. Kuphelelo apho kum neqela le-Identity, salani kakuhle uThixo anisikelele. Sigqibezela inkqubo yethu ngokunidlalela le ngoma. Nansi ingoma ekaShabalala Rhythms no-Oliver Mtukudzi. Masiphinde sibonane ngeveki ezayo ngentsimbi ye-11 ekuseni khonapha ku-SABC 1.
This is my identity.